So could you introduce yourself?
I'm David Lawrence, the Principal and Chief Academic Officer of the Dayton Regional S.T.E.M school.
How long has the STEM school been here in Dayton?
This is the S.T.E.M school's third year of operation.
And how long have you been with the school?
This is my first year here. I spent the past 15 years in Dayton Public Schools, 5 as a junior high teacher, 5 as a high school teacher of mathematics, both junior high and high school. And then 1 as an assistant principal at S.T.E.M School for the Arts, and then 3 as the principal of Thurgood Marshall High School.
So that's where you were right before you were here?
That's correct.
Can you tell us STEM? We see that around. What does STEM mean?
STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's the latest catchphrase in education. And this one has some legitimacy to it. And it's one that denotes that we are working to develop more students who are in those disciplines that are graduating and can then matriculate into the workforce. Unemployment is an issue here in America, and those fields have jobs that go unfilled for quite some time. So we're hoping to be able to kind of change the national dialogue on employment by being able to put kids in a position to be able to go right into those fields.
Who makes up the student body here? Who are these kids and where do they come from?
The students come from 6 different counties, and they come from about 30 different school districts. So what we have here is a situation where you have open enrollment for the entire region, which is why this is called the Dayton Regional S.T.E.M school. So students apply online, electronically, and then there's a hard copy application that they print and complete and bring with them to register.
What are their prerequisites for students if they want to come here?
There are no prerequisites other than the successful completion of the previous year. And I would say it's not written on the website, but I would say one of the prerequisites is a willingness to want to work hard. You don't have to be the best student. You don't have to be the brightest student, but you have to be willing to work hard because there's a lot of work to be done here.
Right. And looking around the school a little bit, I noticed a lot of the student artwork. So you're not just focusing on the sciences and the technology and math stuff, but you're fostering creativity as well. Can you talk a little bit about how you think that influences learning?
Well, the school has what they call 5 qualities or habits of mind, and they're communication, collaboration, and one of the C's is creativity. The other 2 are inquiry and persistence, but creativity is one of the tenets of the school. And so we have a partnership with Wright State University where the arts and the humanities are brought to the STEM school, and we interact with or interface with them and infuse them into the STEM discipline. So creativity is important if you're going to be an engineer. Creativity is important to solving problems that don't appear to have a likely solution on the surface. So we think that that part of the brain needs to be stimulated as well.
Are there special curriculums that you use that are different from what is happening in traditional school systems?
I wouldn't say it's a special curriculum because curriculums are like clothes. You can go out and buy the latest brand or model. We use inquiry-based instruction here, which is a model. We use interdisciplinary thematic units, which is a model. We use project-based learning. These are all models. And what that means is you are developing the critical thinking skills of the student. But the big thing is we have fantastic teachers. These are some of the best teachers in the region in terms of their content knowledge, their ability to engage students, and their ability to work together to create learning.
So what are some of the measures or standards that you use to measure student achievement in terms of where they should be at grade level, standardized testing, such as that?
We don't talk in those terms here, amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
The philosophy goes like this, that there's too much testing going on in America. About 1/3 of the time in school was spent testing. So we use the majority of the time to teach versus test. And it just so happens that on the measure that's used for the state, the Ohio Achievement Test, or Ohio Academic Achievement for 7th and 8th grade, and the Ohio Graduate Test, OGT, the school was rated effective. So in each one of those areas, 90% of the kids or more passed in reading, science, mathematics. Science was 97.5%. So for the 7th graders. So We do 8th graders. We're gonna do a correction on that.
Okay.
8th graders. So the testing has gone well, but that's not how we measure the kids. We measure the kids by tonight. We have an open house for the public, and it's an opportunity for us to showcase what students have done, for them to explain what goes on here on a daily basis.
And how do the kids feel about it? They probably are pretty proud of having their work showcased.
They love it. We have no shortage of volunteers to work tonight.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So what kind of feedback have you had from the kids?
The kids think this is a wonderful place.
What do you like most about the STEM school?
Well, out of the STEM school, we've got this really great education. So it's a project-based, group-based curriculum. So it's not just like learning information and regurgitating into a test. We actually have most classes and most units. We have projects where we actually have to demonstrate that we learned instead of just, like I said, regurgitating the information onto a test.
You have to actually do things,
yeah,
accomplish tasks. Like
so, like as around the school, there's some other projects that are on display. But like I know, like we've had to make like puzzle cubes for engineering. We actually had to use a CAD program called Autodesk Inventor to design like a train, an engine. So there's a wide variety of projects that we have to do for our school. The best thing I think is I really like the culture here. We're very open, we're very relaxed, and we can be really comfortable with each other, and we don't have a problem addressing each other or the teachers. And so another great thing is that the class sizes are pretty small, and so you always need the individualized attention from the teacher that you need. So if you got a problem, you go straight to the teacher. They're almost always available.
We have a very low attrition rate, which means not many students leave. Very high attendance rate. And as you saw when you walked in, just a lot of energy.
Yeah, I noticed the kids when you told them that you were being interviewed, one was like, I thought that was so sweet, obviously. And just watching some of the kids interact with the receptionist at the front, I'm sorry, I don't know her position. Just a lot of personal, the kids seem to be able to relate. There's not like a fear of authority or anything like that. So that's pretty cool.
I think if there's one thing that I brought to the school, it's this interpersonal relationship with kids. I think you saw it best when you came in. There's a group of juniors who were waiting to see me to talk about prom stuff. And just our interaction says that we have a respectful relationship, but also it's one in which they feel really comfortable. I mean, they like the school and they like the adults that are here.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
I saw that. It's very nice. How involved are parents in what happens inside the school and in the children's activities with school?
This is really the most democratic process that I've ever been part of. There's a parent meeting on the first Thursday of every month, and approximately 40 to 50 parents show up. I have an agenda that I send out ahead of time, and when I bring that agenda to the parents, we have dialogue and discussion about it. So on that agenda, it could range from their input on academic affairs, building operations, finance, to whether the juniors get to leave to go to lunch right across the street over here at Wendy's and Subway and Frickers in the spring. You know what I mean? So the parents have a tremendous part. They play a big part in what we do here. Unlike most schools and school districts who really, I don't think, put things in place to make it convenient for parents to participate. It's almost a closed shop, meaning let us do what we do and we'll tell you about it later.
Right, as if there's no mingling of what happens at home and what happens at school.
Correct. So the school has done a really good job of that. And so that's part of parents' role. Parents are even substitute teachers here. Yeah, of the 4 or 5 substitutes that we have come in, I think 2 or 3 of them are parents. And so that's a really neat thing.
Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Leslie Nagel, and I am the parent of a student here at the Dayton Regional S.T.E.M School.
And your student is?
My daughter is Maddie Nagel, and she's a junior. So she was in the inaugural class, so this is her 3rd year here at STEM.
Fantastic. And as a parent, what has been, what are the benefits, or what are the differences that you've seen having your child here at this school compared to the traditional public schools?
Maddie is interested in all areas of education, and we like the inquiry-based learning that's here at STEM. It's not just a lot of skill and drill and taking tests. That's a kind of environment that really shuts down her creativity, and she's really blossomed here and been able to tap into a lot of different areas of strengths, and she likes the way that the different areas integrate the curriculum. That's been exciting for her. Plus, she loves Chinese.
That's great, yeah. Mr. Lawrence was telling me that the majority of the students choose to take Chinese, and I think that's so awesome.
I'm not even sure if all the high schools in the area offer it.
Right, I don't think they do, yeah. They should.
So she's got an opportunity with a small group of students to go to China this past summer. She was part of the China trip, and it was just life-changing. They all can't wait to go back.
Fantastic. Anything else that you'd like to say about the Dayton Regional STEM School?
We're excited for the growth. We love the new building, and I can't believe she's already going to graduate in a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's almost over.
Do you have any other kids?
Well, my son is older, so Maddie's the only one that'll get a chance to go.
Okay.
But we have friends, we've told them about it, and we actually have a friend who's sending their child here next year.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Audra.
The Dayton Regional STEM School is one of 10 STEM schools in Ohio.
That's correct.
What is the future for STEM, for the STEM model? Do we want to have, are we trying to get more than 10 schools in Ohio? Is this something that you would like to see integrated in regular curriculums throughout public schools?
We routinely have teams of people come from other districts to come here to view what we're doing. And that could be Tennessee, North Carolina are the first two that come to mind. They were just have sent teams here in the last month. I just responded to a team from Florida that'll be here, Georgia. So we have a lot of teams from all over the country who are coming here to look at what we're doing. And so to answer your question, yes, I would expect this model to spread not just in Ohio but throughout the country. And one of the kind of goals of the school is to serve as a site where you can pick up best practices. That means where you can go and see the best teaching and instruction and inquiry-based STEM model, where if you want to see some really good things, you know where you can go. And so that is kind of what we're doing here.
Do you have any final words for everybody?
This is a great place to be. Really hard-working kids, really hard-working teachers, poised to do some really great things in the community in terms of integrating the STEM discipline into curriculum and teaching, but also this being a hub for STEM activities, meaning all STEM activities in the region. You'd like to think that at some point they'll originate from here. I mean, we had the Dayton Science Festival kickoff a couple months ago on Saturday morning here, and it was really great to have all of these STEM entities here. So that's kind of the future vision, and everything dealing with STEM at some point, it'll come from here.
Great. So thank you very much.
Hey, no problem at all.
Thank you very much for your time.
Introduce yourself, please.
Okay, DeMonte Quincy.
All right, tell me what you've done here.
Okay, so basically these are different student works for technical reading and writing class. It's a course that's offered once you get in your upper grade levels. And basically technical reading and writing is teaching you how to write different resumes, essays, and manuals to different objects. So over here we have different manuals for a universal remote. So you have Xbox controllers, touchscreen objects, cell phones, temperature thermostats.
Okay.
And then over here we have précis, which is basically summary paragraphs in depth of different articles from different magazines, such as the Smithsonian's and Wired.
Okay. How long have you been a student here at the Dayton Regional STEM?
This is my third year. I've been here since the first year, freshman year.
Oh, okay, so you're a junior this year.
Yes.
All right. And how is the experience different from other schools that you've been to?
Here versus my home school, I had with different classes that I can take, I had more options with that. So that the idea of, I guess, exposing us to the outside world with internships and job shadowing and then college visits.
Okay, and as students, you have opportunities to earn college credits here, don't you?
Yes. So far, we have college credits courses offered with engineering or foreign language, which Chinese.
And do you take Chinese?
Yes, this is my third year.
Well, how do you like it?
Chinese, it comes along.
Yeah.
You really have to focus. You remember remembering how to write characters, the pinyin, and then also the English translation.
Yeah.
It's coming along.
Pretty difficult stuff, huh?
Yes.
But useful.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Tell me about these puzzle cubes. What was it a project for? Whose class? Just
the project was for IED, which is Introduction to Engineering Design, and it was also integrated with our fine art class.
okay.
But what we had to do first was we took linking cubes and we made 5 different pieces and put them all together, and then we took each layer of that cube. It was a 3x3 cube, and we took each layer and we had to draw it on a paper. We had to like make a graph kind of thing. We had to make the 3D look of the cube and make each layer, and then we had to make each piece on the paper. And then after we got that approved by our teacher, we used Autodesk, which is the 3D software, on our computers, and we made each piece on there. And then after we were done with our pieces and we got them approved by our teacher, on Autodesk we made the cube on Autodesk. And then after we were approved to make our cubes, we had little blocks of wood, and we had to make sure each one of our 27 cubes, the whole thing. We had to make sure each one of them were about the same size before we could glue any of them, and after they were, we had to glue our pieces together. And the art comes in. We did a doodle project in art, and our doodles are on our cubes. And there's one doodle on one side and one doodle on the other side.
Let me focus in here on that. Okay, now tell me about this.
Our doodle project in art was, we had to make doodles, and it's actually the installation in the front lobby.
Okay, so you're basically taking kind of science engineering side to construct these, and then once you've got them constructed, adding the art, the decorative, so you're using the you're making something more than just a box that's like, oh look, a box, great, a cube.
One of our things here, we focus on 5 different qualities, and one of them is creativity. So we add creativity into our things as much as we can. So it's not just a puzzle cube, it's a puzzle cube that we made, and it's ours.
So how do you like STEM school so far?
I love the STEM school. I've been here for 2 years. I was here last year as an 8th grader, and I'm here now again. I came back just because I love the school. I love the hands-on about it. Because we're not taking tests constantly. We're doing projects. We're being hands-on.
You're actually doing things, making stuff that that you could go. You feel like you could probably leave this place and be like a product designer, or
we learn skills here that I don't think you would learn in other schools. You learn to collaborate, you learn to communicate, and it's a great feeling to be able to communicate with people. And then I talk to my friends all the time, and they're like, you did that, that's really cool. I was like, yeah, it is, and I love being here and doing stuff.
Well, superb. This is a fantastic project. I caught my mind, I'm like, this looks like, it looks like something you would see in an expensive art gallery in Chicago, to be honest with you, and I mean that as complimentary as possible. It's the design is really well. It's all.
And each one of these is different in their own way.
Yeah. Who am I speaking with?
I'm Luke Miller.
Okay.
I'm a junior here.
Okay, and you've got a robot out here that you've built.
Me and my 3 other team members, yes.
Okay, how long did it take you guys to build this, and what's it constructed out of?
Well, we've been working like a whole match since mid-October. We really started building this about mid-November, so we've really been only working for it for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And we meet twice a week. It's made out of they're called Tetrix parts. They're really the only thing we can build a robot out of, which is kind of a pain. But the main structure of it is out of channels.
Okay.
So there's the U-shape, and then we've got it bolted together.
It looks like you some stuff you guys took apart for some computers, or basically kind of a Radio Shack. Or where do you get all this stuff?
We actually order them off the Tetrix website. This is an NXT block.
Okay.
Just Lego Mindstorms. And these are high-technic motor controllers. So you guys see they're designed to run with Tetrix. And it's just a 12-volt battery. and then we've got our DC motors here.
All right. So, what kind of do you have any kind of massive robot projects? After you've got you've been able to do this, or I mean, you're looking to make a Tyrannosaurus Rex robot, or
no. This is just for the competition. I might build some more robots in my free time, but
yeah. What's the best thing about making robots, and the worst thing?
Well, the best thing is I get to hang out with my friends, and then we make this cool robot, and we get to compete against other people in the competition. And the worst part is, like I said, the fact that we can only use these parts. So if we can't fit something just right, we gotta bend it to work. We can't just grab a piece out of the back room and stick it on there. We have to use just these parts and maybe some scrap metal or some.
Okay, so what is the contest involved? I mean, you got different teams making.
Yeah.
Are you guys the winning team?
Yeah, we're gonna be the winning team.
Oh, you're gonna be the winning team. Okay.
When it's going to be completed, we're going to have a conveyor belt running vertically here. Okay. Which on these treads, they have a rubbery surface. Yeah. Which there's a high friction point between that and these balls. Yeah. And so as we drive forward, this conveyor belt will be running this way. Yeah. And so as we drive forward, these balls will actually be rolled up, and then we're going to have a surface here. The conveyor belt can run it just like that up the belt. And then out of the 100 balls here, 12 of them are going to be magnetic. And if you differentiate the magnetic balls out, there's going to be off-field goal there, that corner, just like a tube. Yeah. And when you put that ball in, you get considerably more points than if you just rolled one of the balls with low goals, which are next ramps here. Okay.
And when is the contest?
It's early February.
Okay, so you guys got some still some tweaking to do.
We got a lot to do.
Okay.
As you can hear when I drove around, there's some gear slippage, which is caused by this platform here having some flex, so we got to fix that.
Okay. Whenever.
Okay, go ahead.
Each class had to represent a column that represents what their class is like, and so in 7th grade you learn about the 7 lenses, which is architecture, medicine, geography, religion, and we asked ourselves, how could we represent that, our class, with all 7 lenses? And so we each were put in some groups in social studies, and we got a part. So my friends got religion, and so they thought that, how could we represent religion? And they put a puzzle. So we asked ourselves, how does a puzzle represent religion? And so a bunch of people are different religions in our class. And so if each piece was a different religion and they come together, they'll be all connected. And so the strings represent how we're all connected in our class. And these up here of each column represent that we're connected in the whole entire 7th grade. So we can be connected in the school. And that's basically it.
All right, cool. Good job. Thank you.
So there are lots of problems related to food in this world, but we had to find one. We decided to find one next related to a salad bar. So we researched food contamination from when food is produced to when it reaches the customer's plate, and we decided to find a problem, or we found our problem at the part where it hits the customer's plate. Now I'm another person. The problem we saw was that people's hands were directly touching the food, and they had contaminated hands, so that was contaminating our food. So we wanted it so that people's contaminated hands would not touch the food.
So these core values
are already existing solutions, one of which is restaurant employees must wash their hands after using the restroom. There are signs telling them to do so. Then the ones we can visually see is servers serving the food instead of people eating themselves. Then there's lids on food, and then most especially hogs.
Our solution is that we just basically reinforce hand washing, where in our solution, they wash their hands and they put it in the dryer. And if they wash their hands well, there's a plate dispenser where it dispenses the plate. If they don't wash their hands well, it's a dispenser plate, which means they can't eat. Since we focused on hand washing,
light, then you can see how well you wash your hands. And we also grew bacteria. My only teacher here at S.T.E.M, she helped us grow E. coli, and helped us learn more about bacteria and germs. We learned a lot of things from research. 3.5 million children die from diseases every day, like by hand washing. And we learned about the different types of bacteria and viruses on our salads. And that bacteria and viruses grow best between 40 to 135 degrees.
Our experts, we had learned stuff that he just said, and one of those people was Mr. Tyler from the Montgomery Health Department, and he taught us about food safety, while Jennifer Howard, a grad student from Wright State, talked hugely about germs' effect on stuff. Yeah, and Colleen talked to Melissa every Tuesdays about when they get their food, and then Miss Cook, along with the teacher at STEM school, is here about, helping us stay.
Yeah.
Alright, we have plans to share our information with the experts that Kate just told you guys. And we did an experiment with our peers at STEM school here. And what that experiment was is that we had one person not wash their hands at all, and we had one person just rinse them, and we had one person rinse them thoroughly for 20 seconds with soap. And then we did a black light test, and we made a website at the bottom of the page.